Yeah. The morning light fills your eyes, and you try to sit upright. Your lungs, you're lying on the cold, wet dock. When you collapsed the night before. Welcome to Dredge, an eldritch horror slice of life type game. Dredge is a 2023 cozy Lovecraftian game with fishing, dredging, and also dodging a lot of eldritch horror. I'm going to be real. We're going to be coming back here a few times throughout this little video, but for the most part, we're going to stick to Dredge. Anyways, let's see what else is happening. A short man is shouting orders at a handful of workers disembarking from a boat nearby. The man notices you. Welcome to Greater Morrow. I must say, quite the dramatic first impression. I see you've already introduced yourself to the jagged rocks along the bay. Yeah, I almost fucking died. Did you know? Did you not see the lighthouse? It was shining right at you. Ah well, I'm glad to see our new fisherman upright and breathing. Your boat was hopelessly damaged, but I've had a few of the locals move your things to one of the old vessels. We'll catch up later to discuss more details. Oh yeah, we're in depth to this guy straight away. I'll let you get out there to catch some fish. Let's see. Yeah, see if you can fill your cargo while you get your bearings in the light. Finally, I don't suppose I need to say this, but get back by sundown before the fog rolls in. Keep a close eye on the time. It can really creep up on you. Yeah, those are the controls. Left stick to move, right stick for camera. As you notice at the top, it says Monday Day 1. As I move, time moves. So this game's weird where movement is time-based. So every time you move, a minute passes, so on and so forth. It's going to get weirder once you get faster and know spots to fish, but let's start fishing. Yep, it's all mini games. Oh, fishing passes time too. Yeah, so in fishing, there's like a few mini games you have to do. Mostly, it's all about timing, and it's all going to be based on your equipment and how you reel them in. Right now, this is my end game file from like 3 years ago that I'm pulling up. But you move to a point, you do some mini games. It's all about timing, making sure everything hits the green. If you hit a red, don't worry, they'll just reset the reel. So it's not really a big consequences except for time and some other unnatural horrors, such as the fishes being eldritch and whatever lurks in the sea. You'll see soon. Okay. I like Final Fantasy XIV fishing, which is weather, time, bait based, along with sequence catching for some special fishes you need. There's no mini games. There is a lot of abilities to help get the fishes you need and deter fishes you don't need, help them get them faster, but it's vastly different than Dredge, where Dredge is basically minigame based, and the fishing spots are all across the world. You have set spots for fishing along with underwater fishing, and some other fishing game modes like cosmic exploration fishing and ocean fishing, which are two other things I won't get into, but let's get back to Dredge. Yeah, but now back over here, back at Greater Morrow, you now just talk to the mayor, and essentially he just tells you you are in debt to him by this point on in the game, which is gonna be a problem early on because you don't really get to catch that many fish at the start. At most, you're going to get like something that's equivalent to like double digits, like around 20 to 40. But your boat depth is what is $50, and it's going to be cut in half each time you sell fish to loan to the fishmonger. He's around the game, and there's like going to be another NPC who's going to be an all rounder. And yeah, basically, you gather fish, sell them to a fishmonger, or just a fish marketplace, what will be called later on in the game. But yeah, after all that's said and done, you also get to talk back to the mayor for a bit. He just accomplishes you and gives you a collectible research part. As soon as you get that in your inventory, that's where you get to upgrade your ship and what you use for equipment and such. And then he points you to the ship, right? Yeah, she just sells you equipment and like lights, poles, engines. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, and trawl nets, which are used for like once in the game. But for the most part, this is all you're going to be doing when you get to land. But enough about overview stuff. Let's take a look down what's around Dredge, along with some lighthouses and some light looting from wrecked ships. Yeah, around just shores, there's going to be wrecked ships. Even in the sea, there's going to be some wreckage that you can dredge up when you get to unlock Dredge. Also, a lot of insanity. Yeah, this game has a giant panic meter, as you can see with that eyeball at the top. Be wary to keep management of that. That wasn't there before. But yeah, after crashing a few times into the rocks, we just repair real quick, spend our 2 points in research parts, real quick on a new pull, finally pay the mayor $25. It drops down really fast, like 14, but right now, we can only pay 25 up front. What happened to the last fisherman? The last fisherman, only he was very unreliable. He'd go out at night, come back with no fish, and proceed to sleep all day. It was a terrible captain. I mean, really terrible. Constantly running around on the reef. Even in broad daylight, the shipwright almost ran out of wood for repairs. No, he was no good. One evening he left and never came back. So long, he shan't be missed by us. What else can I do for you? That's about it. But while we're at Greater Morrow, how about we do a speed test between the beginning ship and the ending ship for Dredge? Now back to Little Morrow, Greater Morrow. We talked to this shopkeeper here we can sell treasure to with that we dredge up, along with some of the locals to see how they're faring today. And then we finally pay off all our debt to the mayor so we can officially own the boat, start the adventure. What's this? After talking to the mayor, we talk to the shipwright. She tells us we can upgrade the hull finally. All it does is increases space, slots where we can slot in rods, engines, lights, fishing trowel, and increases durability for us to last longer and see when we get hit. Okay, what do we have here? Here we go. Morning is the second day of the honeymoon, our first day proper. Today we're sailing around the islands, an inlet at the back of Greater Morrow. I love the rocks here. The layers and colors are so striking. Furthermore, the fishing is relatively poor in these shallows. Yeah, there's not really a lot here. So I know he will keep his hands on the wheel instead of the rods. Aw. Okay, so this is the wife writing. He renamed the boat last night Julie. He did a fancy renaming ceremony and everything. I think he took that more seriously than the wedding. Supposedly, it's very important to perform it correctly, lest you want ill fortune to fall the vessel. He wanted to throw away everything with the old name on it, but I kept the keychain. Ocean's Riches was a good name. I think he has prepared a surprise picnic for lunch. I can see the basket half hidden, stuffed under a blanket at the front of the cabin. I love it when he tries to be romantic. Aww. Oh yeah, there's a little lovers quarrel storyline as well. They're mostly scattered around the world as notes, and it kind of ties into the game. We'll see later what happens to these two, but yeah, right now, this is their second day of their honeymoon, and it turns out it's not going well, as you can see in the text. A henchwoman approaches you from the steps to the lighthouse. She stopped some distance away and looked at you with concern and visible apprehension. Well, yeah, something spooky about to fucking happen. Why are you here? I come to fish. There's nothing here for someone like you anymore. Do you yourself do yourself a favor and move on. She turned and shuffled back along the path that leads to the light. I guess the lighthouse. After that encounter, the mayor will tell you to deliver something to Little Morrow, followed by the fishmonger when you go to him to deliver 2 fishes. And then once you deliver the package across, the dock worker will give you a book. The books usually increase stats, but you just have to drive around, have them equipped. That's about it. And then after that, we go to the shipwright, buying new poles, installing them. Installing them takes time, but uninstalling them takes no time. It's weird. It takes a bit to get used to that, but yeah. And then we fish our first apparition, a grotesque mackerel. Believe me, these are a chance drop. See, right here? Boom, two grotesque mackerels. We take it back to fishmonger and sell it to him. He finds a handkerchief, and that leads to our next encounter in the game. Yep. The man is looking through your cabin window. His face is mostly shadowed. Keep this guy in mind for later. I know what you are looking for. I know what you took to the fishmonger. And I'll be clear, I know he extracted an artifact from it. I need to inspect it, but not here. Meet me on Blackstone Isle. Head out of this bay and cut south. I have a business proposition that you'll want to hear. I'll be waiting. Which is here. The workshop looks as though it hasn't been used in decades. Go inside. You enter, taking a moment to let your eyes adjust to dim light. You find some horrific creations. So after you find the handkerchief, he invites you back to the manor. He asks you to do a task for him, and he will unlock Dredge for you as soon as you start his quest line. In this quest, you need to find a key, music box, watch, necklace, and ring. But for the most part, it seems like a short job, and all you have to do is go out and look for one spot inside Rare Morrow. Weirdly enough, the lighthouse keeper is one of the people who can help you find this red glow. There's a spot near the back of Greater Morrow where the current carries its wreckages from the sea.
Some nights you can see an unnatural glow rising from the patches of dark water. I can't imagine what's down there in the depth. So if you're looking for what I think you're looking for, it's best you just move on. After that, we meet the builder. We start our side quest to build a house outside of Grand Morrow, and then we find the spot. The only thing here is the key. Nothing else. The collector is disappointed but not really surprised, as the current could have swept it all up. He does give us a spell, though, for getting the key to him. It's called Haste. It makes it go faster, but there is a build-up that causes damage to us and grants us some panic if it's filled all the way. But yeah, the collector does say the next time could be at Gale's Cliff, which is the next area, but we need to grind a bit before going there because our hole's not going to make the journey as is. Well, that's said and done. Now we have to grind a bit, which is not really that hard. You just need to find lumber, metal, and cloth to upgrade the hole. But I spent a bit of time getting some other stuff, building up cash and doing some quests. So let's do the highlights on the quest real quick. The lighthouse keeper emerged from the dark forest that flanks the town. She walks towards the dock with a confused look at her face. Oh, it's you. Who were you expecting? Your engine. It sounds like... I'm sorry, I mistook it for a vessel of an old friend. Dejected, she turns and walks back towards the lighthouse. There's no NPC ships. That is a trap. Don't believe that. Nope. I heard that is. Fuck no. We're just going back to town. We don't question what that was. It didn't get on the ship. Just don't give in. Do not look behind. Back at Grand Morrow, we continue the fishmonger's quest line. He gives us a basic crab pot so we can catch crabs now, which is a lot helpful. And then we do a few more quests before he starts asking us to do a favor for him, which is get an aberration fish for him to eat to see what it does. We just say he goes mad, but he's still reluctant and asks us to do it. All I can say is, why? Oh my god. The fishmonger takes the aberrated fish from you. He clutches it close to his chest, wringing his hands around its slimy body. It's an eel, so... Ew. Imagine just touching what's basically like a lesser god in your hands. Or basically touch divinity in some cases, like people record these things as, but yeah. Yes, you should do nicely. Here's what, $70. Here's what the fish is worth, and why don't you take these two? They have no use to me. Okay, we're just gonna take these research parts. I've been meaning to get these. You hear that? It sounds like the faintest whispering. You listen. Silence. In the stillness of the room, the fishmonger's hands begins to tremble. His face grows anguished. Please, sell what you need, then leave. I must deal with this creature quickly now. Ugh. Yeah, no, he's gone. The fishmonger slams the door. You hear the scraping. You hear the heavy scraping of a metal bar sliding across. Well, there's a fishmonger. Holy shit. Up above tomorrow is a courier who scares shitless of the huge Leviathan. We'll show you that later. He gives us a package that's leaking black ooze that the dog hand back at Little Morrow wants. And Little Morrow dog hand's a little too eager to deal with the black ooze, so yeah, we don't get paid for this. Circling over to Builder's questline, all we have to do is bring 2 pieces of metal, 2 pieces of plank on a spot she marked on our map for her, and then after that we go back to Grand Morrow, pick her up. She says, "Peace, I'm out." She goes, builds her house. She says, "Thank you," and gives us a book out of the end of her questline. Then, literally around the corner from her new place, a castaway's found. All we have to do is pick him up and take him back to Little Morrow. The sad thing is, he is probably left for dead. All he has left is the ring he gives us as a reward once we drop him off. and all we do is just straight away pawn it off to the trader. All that's left is to talk to the painter now. He's a patched in character. All he does is paint our ship, and if we find flags from dredging up treasure, he lets us equip them. All we have to do is give them to him, and that's it for tomorrow right now. And then a realization hits me. Okay, here's the realization. We've done everything we can right now. So we have to make our way to Gale's Cliff. Looks like the stuff. I remember I had to go to my other save to see what the icons look like, and it's right there, but I can't access it yet. So we have to continue with story. Shut phone. Onward to Gale Cliff. A whale. Yeah, things are very wrong here if a whale sounds like that. With everything else going on in Dredge, it would make sense that nothing here is right. Eldritch aberration fishes, the nonchalantness of everything going on, the book, the spells, the dockhand just taking a package of black ooze, the huge leviathan that I'll show you later. It's just spelling out something deep is going on in just this one chapter. Ahoy there, you're a new face. A fisherman, I take. Take it. Perfect. Well, we should get along like a house on fire. Haha. Traveling merchant is your all-rounder shopkeep for the rest of the game. You can sell everything and buy everything from her except for trading treasure. She does give you a quest, which is going to be a long one to capture exotic fishes all around the 4 main areas. The DLC fish don't count. And we'll get into that later. By this point, we're already in Gale's Cliff, and we already find a message in a bottle, noting that the music box we're looking for is for Little Morrow, with a little J carved underneath it. Along with that, the traveling merchant had the piece we needed, which was refined metal. It was a little L-shaped item, but all we had to do now was just slot in the wood and other pieces, like the metal and the cloth we needed, and then that's it. We're already at tier 2 hull. This is a lot better for us, gives us more space, and then I just upgrade a bit more before moving on. After wrapping up here at the pontoon boat, we moved to Inkfell, which is one of the settlements here at Gale Cliffs. Turns out that wasn't a whale at all. The last whale was caught some time ago, and the town became a ghost town shortly after that. So we found a false whale. And then the whaler tells us about how there's another settlement that his brother ditched them for and moved away. Turns out there's bad blood between the two of them, and that's where we go next. Before moving on, another resident here gives us a side quest to pick up fermenting eels for her, which is a callback to Stroming, so we moved to the last settlement to meet the brother finally. Turns out the place is falling apart, the brother's miserable, his wife's gone, it's just him all alone. He wants to come back, but what caused drama was he took the family crest, and it's lost at sea guarded by the creature, which is just a giant moray eel, I think. I don't know what it is, but we're going to have to get it. Also, quick update on the dock worker. He's been zombified by the black ooze, he's aggressive, and he's just not part of life no more. That was the Cyclops serpent. Then we find another note from the married couple. Turns out the husband is excited to pull up treasure from dredging, and she's going to let him have a go. Deep sky, deep forever. Casket, seal, rock, casket, seal, broken, fog, core. 5 equals rise. He knows. That makes no sense. The plan was simple. Go in, get out, and try not to get hit by the serpent. The problem was there wasn't a docking spot nearby. Well, there is one. It's a vacant spot. Luckily, it was good enough to keep reloading to save if I kept messing up. The problem is, it took me 5 tries, and the last try I luckily got out, but I only had 1 hit left, so I had to limp my way all the way to the Inkfell. We did it! We made it safely! Oh, that was actually nerve-wracking for a bit. After all of that, we give the whaling crest to the whaling brother. He forgives the brother, but he also tells us we can't do anything else until we test out his explosives, back where we found the crest at. And back at the crest area, there's a waterfall, and we go past that, there's an oarfish, and there's a treasure chest. We can't pick up the oarfish, but we can open the treasure chest for 2 refined metals and some gold. After that, we blow up the path, we tell the brother that it worked, we go pick up the other brother, we bring the brothers together, they reconcede, and then we can go get the music box. Also, now the whaling brother will sell us explosives. We come back to the manor to give the collector another relic we found. He gives us another spell and tells us to go to the next area, which is now in Stellar Basin, which is not that far away. Here's waiting for you on the docks, looking displeased. I saw you sailing out there towards the horizon, crossing that deep expanse. You really think that's wise? It was fine. Maybe this time. You need to be more careful. Even you, with all your experience, cannot truly know the ocean. Nobody can. Roughly, she walks away. Her eyes scan the water as she's walking along the dock. Here's the age concealed you asked for. This is perfect. This will do wonderfully. I can offer you a small sum in thanks. 150. You approach a hooded figure, swathed in dark blue robes. Their face is barely visible. Fisherman, please help. You can barely hear the raspy whispers above the winds and waves. Reveal the hunger. The hooded figure unfurls an old paper scroll. Okay, blue mackerel. I'm sorry. Okay, pointing shape towards the top of it. It appears to be of a blue mackerel. Oh, that's a servant. That's a servant. Oh my fucking god. We're just gonna pass by that thing. Holy shit. Here we are. Back on the track, we make our way to Stellar Basin finally. We find another message in a bottle. It turns out to be from the married couple again, only it's so much dire. So, raw core equals casket open, and it turns out the husband opened the casket, and the wife saw into his eyes only the void. Things are not looking easy on them. Well, easy as in not good. The page is torn off here, so we don't know what was actually said further. But we do find a research facility near the entrance. It only has a research part for us for getting new equipment, but besides that, nothing much we can do right now. Looks like we can come back here later, it seems, because we do find info that there's someone else around here that evacuated. But that's for another time. Right now, we need to explore to see where we're at. The cosmic horror finally shows at the bottom of one of these areas finally. We're looking at a giant mouth. Look at this stuff. And yeah, we can't fish. Yeah, we can't fish or else it attacks us. Yeah. It's just a mouth. After exploring a bit more, we find the dog inside an abandoned village outside of Stellar Basin. He's all alone. We end up playing D&D to get closer to him, to pet him, and to feed him. In the end, we end up taking him with us. But it turns out we end up unlocking a side quest where we have to drop him off somewhere. So we can't really keep him, which sucks. After that, we end up upgrading our hull one last time for the base game and get tier level 4. We're good until we hit Iron Ring, but we have a lot of space. After all that, we finally reach the old fortress, where we find a researcher. Turns out she was the one stationed all the way back at that facility that we raided a bit ago. And they were here to research the fishes here, but turns out the mouth actually came up angry and started attacking them. She starts taxing us to go look for fishes for her, and then we also had to drop the pup here because it looks like he's going to be in better hands with her in the end, which is a nice ending, but also kind of sad we don't get to keep him. And we finally used the trail net. All we have to do is equip it and just hit our key to use it, and that's it. We just drive around with the net lowered down. And then we find another message in a bottle. When the married couple got proposed, she's very happy and got the dates mixed up, so that's a nice little touch before their demise. After getting all 3 fishes, we return back to the researcher. Turns out she found a way to repel the beast, and also we got a new hook. We just need to get her prototype parts back from the first research facility, which is not really that bad. Heading back to the old research facility, we check the laboratory one more time, and we find the prototype's parts on the table. Turns out, when we bring them back to the researcher, she makes a repulse machine for the beast along with a new hook. The only problem is we have to reinstall it at the research outpost again. But before that, we go to the pontoon boat and upgrade the new path we got unlocked to get a better hook from the remaining research parts we had. Thank you. Hey, that was fast. Okay. All what's left to do is slap the repulse machine back into the outpost, and then we turn it on, go to the middle of the basin, dredge up the bracelet, and then wrap up the researcher's final quest line, where it turns out she was out here to see the effects the marine life was getting from the eldritch beast. And it turns out it was making them into the apparitions we've been seeing all over the island so far. And that's all that's left here in Stellar Basin, except this treasure chest I found that had a bunch of good stuff in it. With that, we are at the halfway point of the game. But before we continue further, let's start the Pale Reach DLC, which all we have to do is go south. But first, let's meet the photographer. Before we meet the photographer, we have to do a rock slab puzzle real quick. These are optional puzzles that gives you equipment. This one requires sharks from the text and the etching of the fishes around the puzzles. You need a hammerhead, a ghost shark, a reef shark, and a bronze whaler for a hook reel. And that's all it gives you. A few extra equipment pieces. Moving on to looking for the photographer, we find an abandoned campsite with occult symbols on the ground. All we find here is a ring, and then after that we find a luggage with a camera in it. I guess that's for the photographer. And behind that is the King in Yellow reference. And after that we find the photographer, we talk to her a bit, she asks for a new camera, we give her the camera we found, and then we also get a camera that she said is only good for taking pictures, nothing else. And then we go to start the Pale Reach. There's our oarfish. First thing to know about the Pale Reach is there is one entrance right now. The rest are locked behind progression. The first person we meet is a traveling merchant outside that entrance. Talks about how there's already someone here and how there's a schematic for an ice plow outside her pontoon boat on the reach. She also gives us an ice rod so we can fish here finally. And also we meet the photographer by the entrance to the main area. The only problem is it's blocked off by a wall of ice. She wants us to put bait on there to take a picture of a narwhal. And here's the interaction that happens once we do her quest. You hear something under the ice? What on earth was that thing? I'm not sticking around to find out. Another thing to note is that there's a little bait area where we put our fishes on to keep the narwhal calm. It'll just jump up, eat the fish, and be de-aggro for a little bit. The only problem is we have to refill this every time, but we end up outrunning him a lot faster later on in DLC. On the other side of the island, we find the first abandoned settlement of the Pale Reach. But it's not abandoned. The old captain's still here from the first expedition. We find a notebook in his cabin here that details his exploration. Turns out, the captain ordered the group to make the icebreaker, and he also was looking for treasure as well, unbeknownst to the rest of the team, apparently. It was only him, the navigator, and the boat swine looking for treasure, as they're all contacted by a mysterious eldritch god that turns out calling them the three listeners, promising them boundless wealth, which basically trapped them here in the end. So we have to break them out before anything horrible goes wrong. Luckily, we can find the icebreaker around the corner through some golden glows and dredge them up. After finding all three pieces of the icebreaker, we can now build it with the help of the traveling merchant. We can now equip it, and now we can break through icebergs into Pale Reach. We also reach a pickaxe that was originally blocked off by the icebergs, dredge it up, take to the cabin, and set him free. Only when we do so, it reveals what the god is. It's just a giant narwhal, and one of the eyes closed, and we have to do this 3 more times. So who's the fourth person? Well, it turns out it was the second officer. He was the only person who actually cared about the crew out of the 4 people here. We set him free, we kill the thing, we send it away, and we also take its horn as a trophy. And the beast is no more. It's just a home beacon. Since we got the frozen hearts for this is the rock. This is the Pale Reach rock slab solution. You have to kill everyone. We'll set everyone free for it, and then we get an awesome trowel. 2 last things exclusive to the Pale Reach. 1 is the Ice Shaper, just a giant ice maker that helps keep fish fresher. 2, the Sleeper Shark, which was the exotic to the Pale Reach. Anyways, now to the next area. Get back to Grey Morrow. We asked the mayor about some occurrences that happened, and the mayor talks about his Little Morrow mayor counterpart. We do the same thing to the lighthouse keeper, and they both basically say the same thing. He gone mad, it's all wailing, and he was never seen again. Then we continue to the quest line, give the collector a bracelet, and he tells us to move on to the Twisted Strands after giving us another spell. Hey, back here on the bench. So, turns out I lost a lot of footage for the Twisted Strain. But even though this video is pretty long, I hope it's not too long. Hopefully that. So we're just going to abridge the Twisted Strain. And we're also just going to abridge the Iron Rig because it is extremely repetitive. Okay, long story short, we have to make it to the center of the Twisted Strand. We meet the airman. He tells us that the mine eaters, these things over here with the big fleshy heads, have killed all his men, and we have to go kill them all. Once we kill them all, using baits and traps, we end up taking the heads of them to him. He cuts them, double checks they're dead. One of the necklaces is inside the mine things, and then we come back to the collector again. And he tells us the next area to go to is a Devil's Spine. Just got to Grey Morrow, so here's the interaction. The lighthouse keeper approaches you on the dock, wearing a questioning expression. You must have been around most of the islands by now. Have you found whatever you're looking for? I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm just fishing. It's like, besides the story, I'm just fishing. Recoils from your fragrant lie. Why do you mistrust me so? What have I done to warrant such suspicion? She turns from you, shaking her head, muttering. She heads back towards the lighthouse. Poor lady. That's all of them. That I can't remember. Anyways, I can't picture their faces too clearly anymore. Oh, that's awful. Imagine serving with them for as long as you have, and then you start forgetting their faces. The explosive to get to a Goliath Tigerfish. He's right here. And you can already see him right here. He's already fucking massive. See? This is him right here. And that's a gator. Just realizing. Oh yeah. We're here to catch the big boy here. There he is. This is a real fish. I remember in River Monsters, Jeremy Wade catch this, and like that was like way back in like 2010. Okay, we are at Devil's Spire finally, and as you can tell, it is Greek themed. Starting off the Devil's Spine adventure is a love letter, and then after that we run into the eyeless mother. She's a giant slow fish, and she's blind, but she has a bunch of kids. They'll slow us down, but only huge packs. One's not bad enough, but as soon as we get two, we start to feel it, and so on and so forth. So we gotta be careful in this area now. Okay, we're at the ending of the exotic quest line with the Colacath. That's all of them. Wow, I never thought I'd complete the records. Is there anything else? Yeah, that's it. Is that line? Anyways, back to the main game. So the main part of Devil's Spine is we have to get to 3 shrines. All 3 of them need fishes and crabs we need to get from. Once we get them, we have to put them in the slots. They have to be the correct animals. And then we get the blue flames and some rewards. The blue flames are what we need. The third blue flame puzzle that we solve gives us a giant powerful talisman. It's very strong and it is the best item for fishing. On top of that, I never explained how to use a crab trowel. So you equip it in your skill wheel, and you just throw it over your ship, and then that's all. Close now. Nobody knows. Does he know? Desecrated temple? Forgive me. The only way he might understand. Must help him. Must stop him. Interesting. Seriously though, this is some great artwork that the team did for this game. It's all been great, but this just takes the cake. Look how beautiful this place is. We dock at a surviving port. Turns out this cave that's by it details the rise and fall of civilization defending against Cthulhu and how the lighthouse was the source of it all that was protecting them. We go up the stairs, find that the lighthouse still stands, but we can't get into it. But we do have one of these rocks that we dredged earlier. But it's only one of four. We go to the little Morrow, find the collector. He tells us he has more of them. He makes a little keypad. We go back, get the strongest light in the game, and then we go finish Del's Spine. Yeah, so this is a long reading, so I'll just abridge it. This is the fanatic. He's the last survivor of the civilization for some reason, but for the most part, he just gives us a little ritual chest. He takes us up the stairs, tests us a bit, and then he goes burn himself, and then we find a pocket watch in the ashes. It's a really weird ritual, but who cares? And then we make it to the Iron Rigs DLC. For the most part, this place is too repetitive. It's mostly you dredging up Iron Haven crates for the most part to upgrade all of the facilities. This place suffers from a lot of repetitive back and forths to the old areas, from the Morrows, to Gale Cliffs, to Stellar Basins, to Twisted Strands, and to Devil Spines to get the new fishes. There is a new main game, it involves doors, but for the most part, the whole entire thing revolves around the scientists trying to figure out what the oil is. Because it turns out the oil is alive in this DLC. You will find faces every so often when you drive past it, and also suck it up through the oil extraction, or ooze. And then the boss comes in, makes things harder for everyone else, and then it just gets worse and worse until you have to go back to the researcher and sabotage some stuff in the story. It's really hard to explain, but you have to repel a tentacle eldritch monster, which probably is Cthulhu. The Leviathan comes in, and then you have to take it all down and build it up, and then the ending's kind of unsatisfying. So let me show you the highlights of all the great cutscenes that went into this game here. This is a really cool cutscene. There's our boy again. Just casually gliding underneath us. Let's rewind a bit and talk about the old Mayor Lil Morrow. He's still alive. He's over here at the island at Devil's Spine. But the problem is, he might know who we are. And he's asking us, what did we throw back? It turns out, the book. And there's only one book we know of. And that's where everything starts to unravel. So we asked the Lightkeeper about the book. She acts like we should already know what we know about the book already. And then we asked the only person who has knowledge of the book. First, we deliver the pocket watch to him. And then, after a bit, we start talking to him about the book. He starts acting nonchalant when we start asking about the book. And we seem to be getting more and more aggressive about it. Getting angry and angrier until the climax happens and the big reveal is upon us. Dun dun dun, it was you all along. You're pathetic. The book deep is in your hands. Understand this plainly before you sink into despair. I know how to bring her back. It's all right there in the pages, and now you've seen its power firsthand. We wield the power to release her from her slumber. We can undo everything. Undo what you did. Oh, we need to get second opinions. What is it? I have the book. You've had it this whole time, have you not? It doesn't matter. Make the most of the widow of lunacy. Window of lucidity. Now the time is to act. You still remember where it happened? In that gloomy dark behind the bay? When you're ready, I'll point the way. So we come to a crossroads. Do we go with the collector or do we go with the lightkeeper? The collector is us in the end, and everything we've done is for us. The message in the bottles were actually us and our wife. So do what you will with that information. And then the light housekeeper is the mother of the daughter, our wife. So let's cut to the endings, because they both lead to the same spot. Shall we? Here it is, the ending. Let's start. This is the place, collector. As you can tell, it starts as it ends. I mean, it ends as it starts, with the collector in the peephole once more when we start the game. So let's start this. This is where she was taken from us, and where we can last bring her back. Only here, and only because of what we've achieved. You open the book, its pages are frothed with ice, and a chill mist raises around your finger. You begin to read aloud. Release a lost one. Frozen time. You throw the pocket watch overboard. And tethered by chains in the deep, you throw the necklace overboard. Bind them to the world once more. You throw the ring overboard. Open the door to the starry heavens. You slot the key into the lock of the music box. I don't know why I froze right there. And lay the weary world to rest. You throw the music box overboard. Its key left unturned. This is the place. Lowered back. The book struggles in your grasp, its weight somehow shifting from side to side. Silver ribbons flail pathetically against your fingers. Lowered back. You hold it tight above your head. A loud groan rumbles from the book, echoed by another from the depth. Lowered back. You throw it back into the foaming water. Fuck you. And that was Dredge. You either end the world reviving your wife, or die throwing the book back and saving all of the region. This was a really good game. I really did enjoy replaying this again. Also, this was a video like a year and a half in the making. A lot has happened, a lot of setbacks and life stuff happened, but I'm glad to be able to finally put it out there and get out my system. I really am happy with how it turned out, looking back and seeing it all put together, stitched up, and I hope to get better at this. This may be like a one-off thing, or maybe more, but I'm not sure yet. But before we end the video, I want to do two more things first. The two things I want to do. First off, let me sell that real quick.
Ah.
Yeah, don't pay attention to money. So first off, let's go to the encyclopedia. This is the encyclopedia where we saw found all the fishes, and right there at the bottom you can already see why I want to show you it. The apparitions, the artwork, the blue Mac. Like, look at this stuff. Like, it's like this was like in the update when Iron Rig was released. It gives you the fishes up top and what they become later. And it's really nice to see that. You can even go back and forth. The bloodskin shark, the cleft-mouthed shark, or or bronze whaler, and the black-tip reef. And then you get the Iron Rig fishes. It's just really good. And then we get the exotics. So yeah, so we got the oarfish, the gulper eel, the Goliath tigerfish, the coelacanth, and the sleeper shark. And then we get all their apparition forms: Archon's burden, flaming end, Root's crux, the Shaper's prime, the sleeper's torment, and then fish 230 is just a scientist. But yeah, look at all this artwork that they really put into. Yeah, we get to capture giant squids inside the Pale region. But yeah, let me show. I didn't really talk about these much, but crabs. Start from the beginning to the most basic crab, the common crab and the fiddler crab. They become, yeah, really the yeah. So anyways, the cerebral crab and the malignant crab pincer, and it just keeps going on. As you can see, the artwork gets crazier and crazier. But yeah, hang on. I believe there was like a fish here. Here it is. Okay. And it's Twisted Strand, or is it Open Ocean? There it is. The anchovy. So it becomes the apparition forms the king anchovy. It's so ridiculous. As you can see by the list all the way at the bottom, it's only a trial net fish, which makes it crazier. But yeah, that's what I want to show you, the amazing artwork that went through the game. And let me get prepped for the next thing too. I'm just gonna ride out all the way to the border and see what happens to us. Let me just stand up because I actually have thalassophobia. But what happens, by the way. Oh, so last minute donation. This is a skill wheel. We're just getting taste on up for us. Yeah, I got the lights on now. Okay, we're almost at the edge now. This is nerve-wracking. This is even more nerve-wracking because I'm very scared of deep ocean in real life. Yeah, we're about to hit the border. Here it is. Things are gonna come underneath us. There it is! Thank you for watching Dredge. Well, you get the point. See you guys next time.